Hey everyone, this is BremSter, and today I'm recording another puzzle from March of the Quads, a pack that was released back in March 2022. And today I'm recording Quad to the Max. This is another puzzle that was created by Skunkworks. And this is a puzzle that has been featured previously on the channel. I can't remember when this was actually featured, but this was probably featured back in 2022 sometime. And the reason I think this was featured is because this is probably my favorite quadruple puzzle that I've ever solved. Definitely the favorite that I've ever been involved, pure quadruples anyway. Because there's only the quadruples constraint in this one. And I think this is one of the most elegant quadruple puzzles I've ever seen. And I know I was involved with the creation of this one, and I'm incredibly proud of being involved with the creation of this puzzle. I love this one, and it actually stumped a few people. So I'm looking forward to trying this one again after a couple of years. But again, this is one that I like some previous ones. This is one where I'm so attached to this puzzle that I pretty much remember this one. Some of the tricks that went into this puzzle are ones that I have remembered and used in solving for a very long time. So I'm very curious to see how other people find it, and let's get into it. So all we have in this one is normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. And then digits in quadruple circles must be placed at least once in the 4 cells touching that circle. So in these 4 cells, we must place at least 1 3. In these 4 cells, we must place at least 1 4 and at least 1 9. It may be possible that there are 2 4s around this circle, but there must be, I mean, it's not, but it would be possible by just the logic of the circle. But yeah, they're the rules of the puzzle. Now, I do know how to solve this puzzle. This is definitely not a blind solve. Restarted the puzzle to restart my timer, but don't go for my time on this one. There are a lot of little tricks in this one. Every clue I feel in this one is just precisely placed, and I love this puzzle so much. So I'm just going to jump straight in. Consider this as solving from a guide, but it's in my head because this puzzle is one, probably more than any other puzzle in the world. This is a puzzle that is just stuck in my head. I don't know why, but it is. So let's get on to it. So let's give this a shot, though I don't think I can miss. Maybe I can. We'll find out together. So there are a couple of quadruples deductions that you can start with on this one, such as 7 looks down, so 7 has to be in one of these two, and 8 looks down, so 8 has to be in one of these two. There's a few of those around, and I'm not going to start with those. So I'm actually going to remove these pencil marks because I actually want to show you something else first. What I want to show you, and I'm going to start at the top of the grid, is these 1 clues. So we know that 1 must go around this quadruple and 1 must go around this quadruple. They can't go in the cells where the 8 and the 7 are. So 1 must go in those. Now these are the only places that 1 can go in rows 1 and 2. So we know that 1 in rows 1 and 2 are in these locations, but 1 in row 2 cannot go in any of these cells. So 1 in row 2 must go in one of those cells, and that eliminates 1 from those cells. Now there's another way we could have eliminated 1 from those cells. If the 1 around this quadruple was in that cell there, then it sees all 3 of those cells, and we couldn't have put a 1 around this quadruple. So 1 is in one of those 2 cells and one of those 2 cells. Now, this is incredibly important. I'm going to keep this highlighted yellow, and I'm not going to continue that, but I'm going to do this just as a reminder for later on, because there's a few things that happen in this puzzle. So 1 must exist in those cells. I'm better with coloring, so I may keep some coloring later on. So what does that mean for this box? Well, we know now that 1 can't exist in any of those cells because these are the ones that can exist in row 1 and row 2. So 1 is not in any of those cells, and this 1 says 1 is not in those cells, and these cells are already filled. So 1 in box 3, must exist in those cells, which looks down to this quadruple and says 1 cannot be there, and this becomes a 1. And we get to place this 1 because of this pattern and the place digits. Okay, so can we continue that? We absolutely can, because 2 has to exist in these positions. But we can't put 2 here, or it'll eliminate those, or the fact that 2 has to exist in here in this column. These get eliminated by exactly the same logic. And now we can't put 2 in any of those cells, or that cell. 2 is in one of those 2 cells, looking across, making that a 2. Now we can do exactly the same for 3. 3 is in one of those cells. 3 can't be in those cells for the same reason. 3 is in one of those 2. This is just me avoiding pencil marking across boxes. 3 can't be in any of those cells. 3 can't be there. 3 must be in one of those 2, eliminating that, making that a 3. Now we can do exactly the same for 4s. This is a trick that a lot of people have trouble spotting. 4 can't be in any of those for the same reason that 4 must be in one of those 2. Now when we look at this box, 4 can't be in any of those, and this 4 eliminates that. 4 is in one of those 2, looking back across and placing 4 there. That is the opening to this puzzle, and I think the first part of the opening to this puzzle, and I think it's absolutely stunning. I absolutely love that opening because it requires you to understand the way that quadruples overlook, particularly the concept. To my mind, I prefer to think of it as this cell sees all of those. This cell sees all of those. So these could never have been a 1. These could never have been a 2. These could never have been a 3. And all of the eliminations that those cause, I just think that is really nice. Now, 1 being in one of those 2 means that 1 can't be in those, so 1 is in here. 2 here means these are 2. 3 here means these are 3. 4 here means these are 4. That's an extra elimination. Now we can do some of the eliminations that I had before. 7 can't be in those. 7 is in one of those 2. 8 is in one of those 2. What else can we do? 6 is in one of those 2. 7 is in one of those 2. 8 is in one of those 2. Are there more of them? Because the cells I'm going to want to look at next, as I said, I remember this puzzle so well, which is a bit of a problem for me trying to solve it for you. Consider this scripted, as I said. I'll probably forget something later on, we will see. Because the next thing we want to look at, I want to make sure I haven't forgotten any. 9 is not looking at anything. The 4, 9 doesn't seem to be impacted. 6 is in one of those 2. I think I've got them all. 8, 7, 6. The 4, 9 isn't impacted. The 3, 8 has the 8. The 3, 7 has the 7. The 2, 7 has the 7. The 2, 6 has the 6. The 1, 6 has the 6. The 1, 5 isn't impacted. So these are the 2 that aren't impacted by that, but all the others are. And I think that was a clue that... Anyway, what I want to look at now is these 4 cells. Because these cells have been impacted by these extra digits that have been placed. So what can this be? Well, it can't be a 1 because 1 has to be in one of those. It can't be a 2. It can't be a 3. It can't be a 4. It could be a 5. It can't be a 6. It can't be a 7. It can't be an 8. It could be a 9. So this is 5 or 9. So let's look at this one. I'm just going to go clockwise. This one can't be a 1. Can't be a 2, can't be a 3, can't be a 4, can't be a 5, can't be a 6, can't be a 7, can't be an 8. That's a 9. It's just the only thing it can be. We look at this cell. It can't be a 1, it can't be a 2, it can't be a 3, it can't be a 4, it could be a 5, it can't be a 6, it can't be a 7, it can't be an 8, it can't be a 9. This is a 5, looking up, making that a 9. And this one can't be a 1, can't be a 2, can't be a 3, can't be 4, could be 5, can't be 6, can't be 7, can't be 8, can't be 9. That's a 5. And those get locked in, which I think is just absolutely gorgeous. Now, the place you look is if you notice there are just quadruples along these rows. So these rows and these columns have become quite restricted. So we just pencil mark these in. We've got 1, 2, 5 and 6 that can go in. So these can only be from 1, 2, 5 and 6. So we just do some eliminations. This can't be a 6. Okay, that one's not too restricted. This one, maybe this top row isn't the place to start. This one can't be a 6. This one can't be a 2 because of the 2 looking up. This one can't be a 5. It can't be a 1. And it also can't be a 2 because remember green is 2 and 2 has to be in one of those. So that becomes a 6, meaning this isn't the 6, this is the 6. And we start placing extra digits. And I think if we continue around, that's going to just have a continued flow. Oh, the 6 looks down saying that's not the 6, that's the 6. And now we're down to a triple here. So what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, and 7. Well, this can't be a 7. This can't be a 3 because of the 3's looking in. This one can't be a 2. And it can't be a 3 because remember blue is 3. So that's the 7, which makes that the 2, which makes that the 3. The 2 has displaced a place for a 7. That's the 7. And now where do I put the 2 around this quadruple? It goes there. Which means that has to be the 2 in this box. And I've done the 2 placements. I just love the way this flows. The 7 has displaced that, making that the 7, which means this has to be the 3 because I can't put 3 here, which means this isn't the 3, this is the 3, which means this has to be the 8. And now I'm just down to a pair in this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 and 8. The 8 makes that the 4, which makes that the 8. I've done the 3 placements now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 9. Not sure how to resolve those, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. These are 3 and 8. So that's 8. That's 3. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 9. Not sure how to resolve that yet. But I possibly should do this instead. Oh, the 8 says that's not the 8. So that's the 8. So this has to be the 4, which means that's not the 4. That's the 4. Which means I've done all of the 4s. I possibly missed something with the 1s. You might have to start with the 1s and then it rolls around and comes back, which I think is one of the tricks because yeah, it is. I need to put a 1 in this column, but I can't put a 1 in any of those. So that's the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 9, which looks back making that the 1, which means this isn't the 1. So where can I put 1 around this quadruple? I put it there. That becomes the 5. And now I've done the 1 coloring. Isn't that just stunningly elegant? This becomes the 2 to complete the row. I just love the way this puzzle collapses so cleanly with just the way these quadruples push off each other. This is listed as a scenic hike because these spots are quite tricky. But the way these quadruples interact, I think, is just one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in a Sudoku. Where's 2 in this row? It's not in either of those. This is the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7 go into those. So these are 1 and 4. I can't put the 4 here because of the 4 there. So this is the 1. This is the 4. 1 is now right here because 1 is looking at those cells. This is the 1. These are 3, 7, and 8. There's no 3 or 8 there. That's the 7. I will get back to this, I'm sure. This is the only place for the 3 in the box. So that's the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 5, 6 looks across, making that the 9 and that the 5. So 1, 2, 3. This is the 4. So these are 1, 6, and 9. The 1 is saying that's not the 1. Oh, the 1 is saying that's not the 1, that's the 1. So that's not the 1, and that's the 1. The 9 is looking down, making that the 6 and that the 9. Okay. What's this triple? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. There's no 4 there, there's no 5 there, there's no 8 there. Okay, that hasn't broken open yet. I have not found the stunning trick. Oh, there needs to be a 9 around this quadruple. That's a 9. So this is confirming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this is from 5, 6, 7. It's not a 7. So that's a 5, 6 pair. That's a 7. That's a 5. Looking down, making that a 6, that a 5, which looks up making that a 6. Could have used the 5 in the box, just didn't see it. 1, 2, and 7 go into those. Okay, this is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 go in. There's no 4 or 6 there. That's the 5. Take the 5 out. This is a 4, 6. The 6 looks across, making that the 4, that the 6. The 4 looks across, making that the 5, which makes that the 8 and that the 4. See, it's almost completely collapsed already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 2 or 7. The 7 is looking up, making that the 2, that the 7, that the 2. This is not the 2 because I've already got it. This row is missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7, 8. Again, the 7 looks up, making that the 8 and that the 7. The 8 is looking up, making that the 3, that the 8. These are 3 and 9, and I'll use the 3 to make that the 9 and that the 3, and that is the solution to the puzzle. Now, 168 solves in, it doesn't even have a time. It's been because of the way this is done. Now, I fully acknowledge that 15 minutes is not an appropriate solve time for this puzzle. But this puzzle is fused in my brain because of just, first of all, how long I put into making the quadruples and everything work this way, playing around with the given digits, adjusting these given digits took ages to get right, playing around with the given digits and trying them in different ways, testing it so that the flow worked. We had so many different varieties of this where just even changing a single digit in a quadruple meant that the puzzle had bypasses and things that didn't work well. And then having it that these quadruples worked the right way. This puzzle is just in my mind. So yeah, 15 minutes is definitely not a reasonable solve time. There'll probably be people who still solve it faster than I just did. That's perfectly fine. But what I wanted to do is show you this one. This puzzle stumped a lot of people when it was first posted, and it was like, I can't even figure out how to start. I love this. As I said, I love quadruples. It's probably my favorite constraint, and this puzzle is my favorite quadruples puzzle. At least pure quadruples puzzle. It is absolutely magical. Thank you everyone for watching. I know this is kind of a fake puzzle because of how well I know it. I mean, it's a real puzzle, and I'm really looking forward to the comments on this one. Please leave comments on how you found this one, whether you found the tricks, whether you were able to get through it. Yeah, I'm really fascinated on how people find this one. Thanks everyone for watching, and as always, good luck with your solving.